Live. What is going on? It's your boy Kevin Yee, the Farm D, aka Kevin the Refugee. Kevin Yee, the 10 Planet Blue Belt 2. There's a lot of names I go by. But what's going on? Actually, I'm shooting a little bit earlier than usual because I'm actually headed to a birthday. My friend's kid's birthday. The her kid is turning 1 years old, so going to the OC for that. If you can't tell, I'm actually on a walking treadmill, which I'll stop to. So I'm not like moving in everywhere, but been working on a lot of cool stuff this week. I actually took a huge week off of all my sales calls and all that sort of stuff recently. Just because it was I was getting really burnt out, to be honest with you. I was falling behind with my YouTube channel. So actually this week I edited about 4 different videos for Kick-Ass Investing for this YouTube channel. Was planning out my content for next week and whatnot. Really excited because I've been getting a lot more feedback too. Actually as well, like if you haven't already, go to refugeehustle.com/join. I think that's the URL, refugeehustle.com. Anyways, if you go to the main Refugee Hustle website, I actually redid all my emails, so you guys get a series of emails that I think are really going to help you out with different tools and all that sort of stuff too. It also helps me figure out better content to create for y'all as well. So I know there's about 2 people watching this right now, so make sure to smash that like button if you haven't already. But that's been what I've been up to recently, and it's really been interesting these last 2 days. I've just been kind of really taking a step back, and I think it's always important to kind of take a step back to plan out your week, to make sure that you have all the tools that you need to get what you need done, to focus on what you want done as well. I actually this week I've just been reinvesting back into my room and stuff like that, to my office space. So I have a standing walking treadmill, which is really cool. Maybe I'll shoot a cool video about that. I actually got everything on a boom. So this camera is actually on a boom. Wait, hold on. So you can tell it's on a boom. And so it just makes content creation so much easier. And I think one of the things I was really running into in terms of content and all that sort of stuff was it was just really, in this new apartment, it was just really really hard to whip out my camera to just do everything. And now that I have this dedicated place where I do everything from my sales calls to my emails to my meetings to everything, it makes it so much more simpler just to have a solid workspace. And I think one thing I've been really I wouldn't say the word is protective, but it's just been like, I just don't want people coming through here a lot of the time, just because this is my focused workplace. I love going out. Like I actually force myself to go out at night after I'm done with all my sales calls and articles and stuff. I do all my work here. And I the only thing I really do is like make my meals here. Everything that is work related that I want to be disciplined goes in here. So I actually read my books, using my treadmill too, to kind of read and walk, burn off some calories. Actually, it's really interesting. One of the biggest hacks this week for me, myself, is actually getting this walking treadmill, because I'm not sure if but I actually am down back to 198, which is great. And then that's only 1 week just walking. It's pretty fucking freaking crazy doing that as well. So pretty happy about that. I wonder where I'm going to be in 30 days, if I'll be at my goals. And this week I'm actually starting up my lifting routine in the morning and all that, on top of jujitsu and yoga. I feel like I have a good balance of everything at this moment, and getting my content along the way too. I just signed a terms of agreement with somebody who's going to be taking care of my blogs, turning my video content into blogs as well. So that's like the whole video content strategy. I'm really trying to take advantage of the Gary V method. I can't believe I didn't do this before, but I really want to. What I'm planning to do is really be able to I want to kind of take this content, focus on the video, have somebody do all the writing. Maybe from time to time I'll do writing, and turn those into videos as well. But really, I want to integrate everything together because I feel like it's all over the place and whatnot as well. Danny says, hi, what's going on, Danny? Armored Ghost says, standing versus sitting. Well, this is actually what's interesting about this desk is that, hold on, let me see if I bring it down, I can bring it back up. Fuck. Yeah, there we go. Okay, perfect. This is the great thing. Get an adjustable one. I actually don't have a I don't have a standalone standing desk, and I'm actually in the middle of kind of like doing an article with like all my different like things. I was actually writing this not too long ago, so I've been working on that. But really, when it comes to standing desks, I love them. I am in a lot better mood. It keeps me burning calories. I feel a lot more alive. There's a lot of things. Thanks for a like, by the way. For those 3 people who have liked the video, for those 3 people who haven't, make sure to smash the like button. But in terms of standing desks, I really like it a lot. I think it's really been helping me a lot. And one of the things I realized through yoga recently is that my body is so fucked up. It's getting not old, but it's becoming a lot more inflexible. Um, it's I'm getting like not nerve pain, but like I noticed some areas are really tight. Not sure if it's like due to my injury before. Some areas aren't that flexible. Like for example, my hamstrings, my lower back. I feel that whole posterior train posterior chain, so your glutes, your lower back, your hamstrings, that whole line, even my calves are super super tight. And yoga really helps me. Doing yoga every single day helps me remind myself to loosen that area up, and it gives me time to kind of meditate as well. Because there's always like a warm down like sequence with yoga. And then really in the morning, how I like to start my mornings is something like jujitsu or powerlifting, just because it fires off my central nervous system, wakes me up. It's like gets the hardest part of my day. Believe it or not, the hardest part of my day isn't sales calls or doing business stuff. It's actually going to the gym. Recently I've been so like not late per se, but yeah, I am. I've been pretty late in general, so it's really bad. I'm not really late to anything, but except for the gym, which is really not that great. But I want to show you something that I've been working on. Maybe I'll share it to my to refugee hustle people like in an email sequence. But if I go in my Google Sheets and I'm looking at the comments right now, I'll get to them in a second. But let's start this. Start this treadmill again. There we go. I'm gonna start at the lowest setting, just so that you kind of under. Okay, great, cool. So let's go into the Google Sheets. Whoa, let's slow this down. Okay, perfect. Slow speed. I actually have a nightly checklist, which I'm opening up right now, which you guys can check out. Um, this is a important thing for me every single day, just to make sure that I have all my knee sleeves. I have my daytime kill kit, which that's what I termed it. But based on wow, it's so slow. Holy shit. Um, Maybe I should have waited for it to load. But I'm sure you can see. It has everything from my microphones to all that, everything that I possibly need throughout the day. So that's really been helping me a lot as well. Um, and progress update for this week. Progress updates. Man, I just been really well, content wise, I'm pretty much all caught up. Let me switch it back to camera. Sorry. Content wise, I'm pretty much all caught up. I kind of miss. I've been trying to get a template for my weekly newsletter because I want to get back on track with that, and really blocking out time to specifically create content. I think where I fall behind a lot is just inadequate planning and scheduling, underestimating the amount of time it takes to create an article, to create content, to work on my business, to work on my offers as well. So it's been it's always been a juggle of time, right? And so because I do sit I do about close to 50 hours a week for sales fulfillment and all that sort of stuff too. It's a lot of time. People don't realize how much time I'm putting in, and it's just a lot of work sometimes. But hopefully it'll get better as we refine some more processes. Um, Is Empire Flippers good for acquisitions? Empire Flippers. I never use Empire Flippers. My friend Matt Tram or Engineer Truth, he really recommends Empire Flippers. He's friends with one of the people. He always recommends Empire Flippers. But personally, I've never used Empire Flippers, but I would definitely consider using them if you want to buy out a business or something like that. Any panic buying in LA because of the flu? Not, you know, when you say buying, are you talking about like everyday stuff? So I'll tell you this. I mean, there's some people like even in my yoga class who like, oh man, I'm so worried about the flu and all this sort of stuff. Honestly, I'm not even worried at all. One, I'm not elderly population. I don't know if that really matters, but I'm not super worried about the flu. I think the regular flu, like there's statistics saying that the regular flu hits people a lot more than the coronavirus type of thing as well. But I'm never overly concerned. I mean, at the end of the day, you just control the things that you want. And for me, doing things like jujitsu, yoga, these are things that I'd be happy to not die doing. But there's no point in living in fear. You do the best that you can. You make sure that you just take care of your body and stuff like that and just go. I mean, there's no point in living in fear and just avoiding things that you love doing because that's not the point of life. So really interesting. Was looking into some conspiracy theories too and stuff about the whole flu as well, but on my free time, not so much every single day type thing. I'm not a conspiracy type of guy anyways. Lemon says, do you train at Barbell Brigade? I typically do. I haven't gone back. I'm actually planning to go back tomorrow. Been training at, so this is a big difference I've been learning about like a 24-hour fitness and barbell, is that because FYI, I went to Scotland and all that, and I just never went back to barbell until later today, and for a good reason, because I want to go to barbell. Like after using 24 and all that, you always have to wait for a rack. You always have to wait. Like people are always talking and shit. You just run into a lot of people who are not serious about their training and all that. So I just want to be back in that environment. I use 24 every once in a while, especially when I'm traveling or anything like that. It's a commercial gym, right? So it's definitely not my favorite, but it gets the job done. I mean, all the equipment that I use is pretty basic. I don't use that much. I just need a squat rack, and then I can figure out the rest through bench press or whatever I need to do. But one of the things I definitely want to use again is a reverse hyper, just to kind of decompress my back a little bit. I also planning to see I know Joe Rogan's so against this, but I also was thinking about seeing a chiropractor just for some soft tissue therapy and stuff like that as well. I've been having a lot of tightness in general, especially in the back and whatnot. Any sales course this week? Do you mean any course? Oh, any course sales this week? I took the whole week off, so I did zero fulfillment as well. Haven't really looked at my courses, even for kick-ass investing. My web admin told me that my Stripe was down, and so I was like, fuck. So I had to redo that this week. And really just going to be hiring someone out to kind of take care of the content side for kick-ass investing as well, with my existing content. And really, I might just honestly hire someone just to do the Kartra integration. I really don't want to take the time to learn Kartra or anything like that. So that's kind of like what I'm doing at the moment. Are business people avoiding Chinese businesses? Not that I can see, but I mean, personally, I don't. I go to Asian markets all the time. I do all that sort of stuff all the time. Haven't had any problems. But I read on Medscape, by the way. For some reason, I'm still part of the. I'm still like, I still get subscriptions to Medscape, and it talked about like the first death from coronavirus in Washington State. So really interesting. Kirkland, Washington, and all that. So yeah, I mean, like for most people though, like I don't think we're really high risk, right? Let's see what it is. The general, yeah, so they say the general risk to American public is still low, including residents in long LTC facilities. Um, older people are higher risk, and long-term facilities should emphasize hand washing and the early identification of individual symptoms, right? So, like, really, in essence, we're probably relatively low risk compared to everyone. I don't think it really affects us as much as we think it is, right? It looks like you are walking on a treadmill while I actually am. So I actually have a portable treadmill. This is actually what I do when I work. Like, I edit videos this way. I shoot my videos this way. It really just helps keep my energy up and just burn some extra calories, man. Like last time, I'll give you an example. Like, so I started doing this more often since last week. Probably I think the first day was Tuesday or Wednesday. I walked over 30,000 steps. 30,000 steps. That's a lot of steps. I think it's about 1,500 calories or maybe 1,000 calories within a few hours. I did all my sales calls, did all that, and it was really great, man. What's your opinion on COVID-19? I don't really. I mean, I don't really have an opinion. Like, I like honestly, I've spent very little time watching news or anything like that. I don't really get caught up too much with that sort of stuff. I mean, there's really nothing I can do. Yes, I could isolate myself. But one thing I have been doing too, I think is important, is just like stocking up, right? Um, you see people, like in Hong Kong, they just empty shelves, right, of non-perishables. And I think that's, if you want to prepare, you should have something like that. Just make sure that you have enough reserves and stuff. You know, I actually stocked up on a bunch of sardines, all that sort of stuff, to last me for a little bit, just in case, like, we run into an emergency or a breakout here, because look at how much it shut down their system, right? And so, not to say it's gonna happen here, but you know, just in case, right? And it was through the recommendation of my friend who recommended that. So I did that. Worst case scenario, I'll just return all the stuff when all this stuff blows over, especially until the summertime, because they say that in heat it doesn't really, like, uh pro. I guess I don't know. They said summertime it should be better, right? Uh, any thoughts on Mark Ripto? Wow, I haven't heard that name in a long time. That's the starting strength guy, if I remember right. He has he's the advocate for. Was he the founder or father of CrossFit? I can't remember, but he definitely popularized it. Popularized it. Um, no strong opinion on Mark Ripto. I've always favored more powerlifting type of routines instead. Just be, I don't know, like, for I'm pretty sure some people do CrossFit here. CrossFit is great for some, but a lot of the experts say that this is how people get injured when you do really high reps of these power, like these movements and whatnot. So I choose to get my high intensity somewhere else and just separate it out. Have my strength training for strength training, and have my and have my high intensity separated out, right, through other means, whether jujitsu or whatnot. Um, the routine that I usually love doing, like especially when I'm doing jujitsu, that I can actually do because I don't get burnt out, is something like 5-3-1. 5-3-1 is a great routine, starter routine. Boring but big is a great routine for a majority of people, right? Uh, so there's an app on that too. There's a lot of different routines like Cube and all these other things, but I just like very simple things. I don't like too many complicated moving parts and routines and whatnot as well. What's the longest you've gone without exercising? Well, maybe when I first started, when I barely even exercised at all. In general, I mean, probably the longest recently was probably when I was injured. I couldn't really walk at the time, so even basic walking was out of the picture. Couldn't do jujitsu. I was lifting quite a bit. I mean, that was my only, like, maybe after 2 or 3 weeks, but that's probably the longest I've ever done. Maybe like a month without working out. But usually it's because of some sort of injury or something like that. It's not because I want to. Um, I feel like like I was the type of person who never grew up with like exercise being a big priority, right? And that's why a lot of my family is actually overweight weight because they don't really exercise. But I only started exercising more in like maybe seventh grade when I used to shoot some hoops and stuff like that. Uh, I used to go basketball camp. I used to do kung fu and stuff, and just get a huge cardio workout there. It was cool. That's how I started off. And then I remember in high school, one of my friends, he was a gymnast, and they would like we were on this cruise, and he was working out. I was like, huh, okay, you're lifting weights. Um, how are you doing that? And so I started lifting weights at that time, trying to get stronger. Then I started doing swim team, and then I just focused on weightlifting for a while. Then got back into kung fu, more jujitsu, like jujitsu, stand up, all that sort of stuff, and that's pretty much what I stuck to. I'm not a huge like rock climber or all these like adventure type of sports because for me, I just love that practicality of like lifting and jujitsu and combat sports because these are things that I find that are more probably useful than something that's like spin class or some shit like that. um I think having a practical use has always been really important to me, even within like reading and books and stuff. Just by the way, has anybody read this like book, by the way? High Performance Habits. I just picked it up at my local bookstore, um as well. Like I traded in a lot of different books and picked up this one. Heard many great things. One of my previous sales mentors was reading it too, but I'm curious today you guys read it as well. So Brendan, I think it's what's his name? Brendan Burchard? Yeah, Brendan Burchard. So just pick this up. It's a really thick ass book, but I'll probably get through it. One thing that I realized too, like especially if I'm on the treadmill, I don't know what it is, but I read books hella quick. Like usually I'll polish one or two books off per day, right? If I block out the time for it, and it only takes me about 30 minutes to an hour, depending how long the book. For example, I'll finish off a Seth Godin book really quick. I read The Dip really quickly, maybe in like 20 minutes. So crazy, man. Kevin Panic bought this is treadmill machine. Actually, you know what I really like about this treadmill? It actually folds up too. Like it's a portable one. I can shove it underneath my desk or anything like that, just in case. But yeah, man, especially like in this apartment, I don't have that much space, bro. Like it's really limited, so I gotta make sure that I take advantage of every single piece of space that I have as well. Danny N says, "Do you watch any shows?" I currently do not watch any shows in general. The only shows I really watch are I used to watch Better Call Saul. I used to watch Man at High Castle, but that's over now. Um, any other major shows that I watch? Oh, one show that I do like. I really like that Korean series, Kingdom, a lot. Kingdom 2 is coming out. Me and my friends, we watch that all the time. I tricked one of my friends, Sylvia and whatnot. Told her it was a Korean drama. Well, it kind of is a Korean drama. I just didn't tell her the zombies part, so she got freaked out. Made her watch it alone. So fucking funny, dude. Richard Flores asks, "How much volunteering did you do to get into farm school? And also, where did you do your volunteering at?" So in pharmacy school, I didn't really do that much volunteering. I would do volunteering here and there, but it wasn't an active part of everything. I don't think like at the end of the day, I don't think volunteering is a huge part. Probably varies from person to person. I mean, people, you got to think about like from what's the point of putting something like volunteering on your application, right? What's his name? Cal Newport has two really great books. I promoted it many times on this channel, but how to win at college and how to be a straight A college student or something like that. I forgot, but some of my favorite books that Cal Newport has, and he says that everything that you do should have a intended purpose or something like that. He actually instead of recommending like doing volunteer work and all that, which is good. It's probably solid stuff, but uh he really recommends having like a passion project or something of more more impactful type of thing. Having a I forget what he calls it, but that's what he pretty much recommends in his book. And I agree. Like I think you should, like, it's so easy. I mean, people like to do a lot of easy things, right? And just put it on their application, but that's not, it's kind of like the, for example, like, have you ever seen that meme of that Chinese guy? Chinese, let me pull it up. Chinese business man, business card meme. Yeah, maybe I can pull it up. But it's kind of like one of these things, right? You take this is really funny. Um, I think I showed it to Joe once too. This one. Oh shit, where is it? Guang Bao Chen, right? Most influential person in China, most prominent philanthropist of China, China moral leader, China earthquake rescue hero, well known and most beloved Chinese role model, China's top 10 most honorable volunteer, most charismatic philanthropist of China, China low carbon emission environmental protection top advocate, China's foremost environmental preservation demolition expert, and then CEO and all this sort of stuff. But we all know this is kind of like when people, you get the point, when people have so many different things on their business cards, or what they're known for, then it's kind of like, man, what are you really doing? Because you can't be a pro at so many things. Michael Jordan was like, when he played baseball, he fucking, I think he played like one season of baseball or one game of baseball, I can't remember, but he's known for basketball. If he was like, I'm known for basketball, football, tennis, it kind of dilutes the impact as well. And that's something I've been really struggling with too recently. It's like really focusing on the few, not the many, and what are the things I want to be known for, right? For me, I love jujitsu, that's number one, right? And I want to grow. Like even right now, I just struggle with focusing where I want to double my efforts in, and that's why I'm actually and that's why it's really important to kind of ask the questions of an ikigai. Like, what do you love doing? What can you get paid for? What will the market pay for? And what are you, they say, what you're good at or what you love? Either one, whatever one I doubled up on, you get the point. Those are 4 questions that you need to ask. I'm actually I have a video coming out with this as well this week as well. So Banzer says, if you could go back and change major, what major in, what would you major in? You know what the truth is, Banzer, I probably would take a real step back, ask myself, what do I want? What do I, where do I want to go? I mean, does I hate this. I hate how people, like, you know, how the public perception is like college is good for anything. No, college is not good for everything. It does not always fit the needs for a certain solution. Sure, if you want to go down a professional route of becoming a licensed professional, for sure you need college, right? There's no doubt. That's just the way the system is set up, right? But what I will tell you is that knowing if I knew that I wanted to do sales, like, or start a business or go down the route of startup businesses and whatnot, I would have not gone to college at all, right? I would have tried to develop a plan, probably find a mentor to kind of guide me along the way, get my experience from my mentor or someone who's done it already, see their advice, take their advice seriously, and just follow their path, right? I know people that are younger than me, didn't know college, right? And they're really killing it with sales. They're making more money than a lot of people who are in pharmacy and all that. And so a lot of time when people are going to college, they want to make money. That's what they want to do. But sometimes it's like going into debt. You got to think of college as the ROI, right? You're going to put this initial investment in. Will it be worth my ROI getting out? And that's why I'm such an advocate of helping people do their research before they actually go to something like college or anything like that as well. I'm going to turn this off. college doesn't always fit your goals. It doesn't matter like what your major is. But to answer your question, if I had a gun to my head and I was gonna do college, what majors would I choose? Maybe I'd be a perhaps like a transactional lawyer, or maybe a CPA, something like that. If I had to go to college, or if I want to stick in healthcare, maybe do something like PA, um, or maybe even go the full doctor route. I don't even know, to be honest with you, uh, because that's not really my life anymore, right? But I do love the life of business and all this sort of stuff. I think it's really interesting in the time that we live in and all the opportunity that we have. So I'm gonna get a stool really quick. Hold on. So yeah, I was actually walking for about like an hour or two before this stream as well. So getting a bit fatigued, but hell, I walked for like 2 hours. Not bad, not bad. Cool. And I gotta get ready soon for that birthday party and stuff with my friend. Andrew says, "Hi Kevin, what's going on, Andrew? How you doing?" You know, one thing about cool about Andrew is that he's every single time I've interacted with him, he's always had a very appreciative, happy, like type of going personality, man. Just want to give you a huge shout out, Andrew. Carry that wherever you go, bro. And why did it shrink so small? Holy fuck. Yeah. Oh. What else, guys? What else do you guys want to ask me? Hagao says, if you think about it, there's never any rush to go to college. No college will ever turn away a paying student as long as their GPA slash coursework is fine. Well, here's the thing, right? If college is so damn stable, then what's the risk of trying something outside of college, right? If college is that stable, right, then you can go do something, fail at it, and then if it really doesn't work, go back to college and borrow that money that you don't have, and then go into debt. You can always do that. The option's always available for you, but I don't understand why people want to rush it. I get it, but you know what it really comes down to? It's the self-belief that you won't make money on the back end, right? It's, I mean, the thing is, people always want certainty. They always want certainty. They always want security. But the truth is, things like security, certainty, those don't come from any sort of job, because guess what? Market changes. Look at pharmacy. It was really stable before, but guess what? There's no more jobs anymore. And so what happened to that security, stability, and all that? Pay is going down. What's happening? Things change. And you got to realize that security, certainty, that all comes within yourself. Do you have the chops to really adapt with the changing market, right? And all that as well. So I say, like, if you're young, it's not going to make a real big difference if you take like a year or two to figure out what you want to do. And I think it's actually smarter to go down that route, to really explore all the different routes that you want to go and just really see if college makes sense. Because college is not a cheap investment. You're talking about close to a 6-figure investment sometimes when it comes to college, right? So that's my thoughts about college, I guess. Like, and I'm not bashing college. I'm not saying don't go to college altogether, but I'm just like, fucking think, guys. Like, if you're young, just think twice about going to college before even going down that route. Like, I come from a very unique position where, like, I've done college. I've been through that route. I know what it takes. I know all that. But what I'm doing now has nothing related to college. And that was my choice, right? But take it as someone who's gone that route. You can, if money is your motivator, you can make far more. You don't need college to make money, right? College teaches you how to be a very good student. It teaches you how to get into debt and pay your way out of debt. It also teaches you, yeah, there's some benefits I got from college, right? Like, some of my best friends I got from college, but honestly, I think I'm a lot closer to people who I met out of college, who start their own businesses, all that sort of stuff. I just instantly connect, right? It's really great. Although I would love to think I'd be a great consultant, like, as well, but who knows? I would have to go back to college for that. Next live stream, Kevin will talk, walk, and cook at the same time. Yeah, I'm gonna freaking yank and cook on this shit, bro. What do you feel like is interesting about you, and what do you like about yourself? I don't know, just curious. I don't like. I think one of the things I'm always open to is a lot of different. I'm open. I think the best trait about myself is I'm open to a lot of alternative thought, alternative ideas. I'm always willing to listen. I don't dismiss things very quickly, right? I'm always open to listening to the other side, and I think by doing that, it's actually really helped me understand people a lot better. For example, right? Um, Most people, if they were like, "Hey, read the Quran," right? I've read the Quran before, like pieces and parts, translations. Obviously, I can't read like I'm not, don't speak or read Arabic or Sanskrit or whatever. But I'm open to those ideas, right? Same with the Bible. Same with had a lot of Jewish friends. I mean, like I remember when they were like reading the Torah and shit. So you know, I'm always open to ideas. I'm always open to listening to things like conspiracy theories and alternative thoughts and a better way of doing, because at the end of the day, I want to know if there's a better way of doing things, right? And I'm able to disconnect myself from my actual opinion sometimes, right? As well, right? I always try to think outside of conventional thought, because guess what? If you're doing everything that is conventional, right, and you take it as like the Bible, I guess, or the word, right? You're just gonna get average results. There's always like top performers that are always doing something different as well, and I'm always trying to crack that code, I guess, right? So I guess that's what I really like about myself. Just that I'm open minded toward things, and I always try, right? I will always try things, minus illicit drugs and shit. But in general, I'm open to trying a lot of different things as well. I'm never really scared to try. Um, and so I think that's really allowed me to empathize and talk about so many different subjects with people. So when it comes to talking about like a lot of different subjects, um, I can go on all day about that. So those are some of the things, but I don't know. We'll leave it up to the stream. What do you guys think is interesting about me after all the things I shared? And what do you guys like about me? Would love to kind of hear. Thank you so much, Kevin. I really appreciate that. I always try to be kind and positive. Yeah, amen, Andrew. I agree. Like from the first time I met you, you are always like happy and all that sort of, not happy, but you're always positive, you're always spreading good vibes, you're always saying thank you, Kevin. I you remember that, and that's what I think that's important to always do, like appreciate others, be grateful for others, mentioning, and not only having that feeling but expressing that to others, because people will remember that for the rest of their lives, and they will have a great impression of you. And it's important because sometimes people get lost in the weeds and stuff. Who do you think will win, Khabib versus Ferguson, if they ever fight? Oh, Khabib, man. Well, I mean, I would love Tony Ferguson to win, but I don't know. My gut says Khabib, but I have no idea. Right? I have no idea. What's your opinion on I'm J Station? No idea. I don't even watch. I don't even know who I'm J Station is. College seems like the real risk. You go into debt for a career that you don't really know what happens inside until you graduate 4 years later. Um, I heard people in Canada take a gap year before college. Yeah, college, in my opinion, is the real risk because you upfront all the debt. You don't know what you really want to do. You're making a decision before you are of like legal age. Well, I mean, most people when they go into college are 17, 18 years old. I mean, dude, we're not even grown yet. Chances are those are your parents' wishes that they're imposing on you. That's not a good idea because you're the one that has to assume all that responsibility. I know I speak to a lot of youngins and they're just like, shit, Kevin, I got to pay off this debt. I don't know how I'm going to do it. And it's just like, well, I mean, if they took the time to really think about their exit strategy from the beginning, what they wanted to do, and I mean, it's hard to figure out what you want to do, but there's a few ways to figure it out. One, you want to go through an exhaustive list of like all these different careers, pick out the ones that are most interesting to you, right? Second, narrow down that list based off of the lifestyle of how people are. So researching things like subreddits, forums, and I'll have a video coming on this like very soon. I actually literally shot it yesterday, right? Subreddits, all that sort of stuff, and Quora, Glassdoor, Bureau of Labor statistics, all that. to find out the basic day to day, how much they get paid, see if that's something that you want, right? And then there's the next step after you figure out all that sort of stuff, really speaking to real people who are actually doing it, not students, not people who are in school, but real life people who are actually doing it for a living as a professional, see how they like it. And chances are, if they're not happy, they don't like it, then, or if it doesn't fit your lifestyle, then it probably won't be a good fit for you. And then finally, try to get as close in as you can, just as a test, right? You can try to see if you can shadow. I'll tell you this: it's probably really hard to get to shadow someone. Maybe you can get a lower what do they call a low entry job, or initial, like, I can't think of the word, I'm blanking out, but like a really easy job and stuff, just entry level job, to kind of see what people like and whatnot, or like see what it's actually like. So I mean, that's kind of like the process I would go through as well. But to be honest, I mean, I wouldn't even want a job at this point. Like, after tasting the forbidden fruit, like, a job is just not something I would want at all, because I just love my freedom. I feel people have a bad case of FOMO when it comes to college, whether it's job security or people judging them / missing out. I'm telling you guys this: you are not missing out on college. When it comes to college, the best part was relationships. But guess what? I build relationships all the time outside of college. It's really not that hard. All you gotta do is just be proactive. Don't pitch people, right? And just be genuine. Just be genuine about meeting people, and have a good idea of the type of people that you want to meet. I meet people online every single day. It's one of the best things I've ever done for myself, man. And I met some of my closest friends through online. Like, I talk about my friends Tom and Zach. I met them online, right? I met my digital marketer online. I met so many people online. And so college should not be the reason why you should create relationships. And trust me, you can get invited to all those. If you want to go party and do all the college party stuff, guess what? You can do that without college. And guess what? When people turn 21, people don't go to freaking like house parties and play freaking beer pong, right? When you turn 21, a lot of people end up going clubbing, or maybe not these days. Maybe they're like ravers and stuff like that. They go to music festivals and all that sort of stuff. But regardless, there's always opportunity for you to meet people. There's meetups, there's different organizations out there. There's always ways to meet people. So yeah, don't ever go just for relationships, you know. You can meet anyone on this planet, I guarantee it, right? So I think I may have sounded something major. The profession of an anesthesiologist assistant, it looks like a new job that only allows them to practice in 17 states, but the pay is great. Well, yeah. So Danny, I think you're right. I wonder if the Bureau of Labor, man, I gotta bring up one Bureau of Labor statistics on the stream. I like anything in that field pays really well, for a good reason too, because there's a really high risk to it, right? It doesn't really take that much to put someone to sleep versus kill them, right? So let's take a look. So Bureau of Labor Statistics. Oh, nope, there's nothing on here quite yet. So, oh well. But that's great. That's great to know. Yeah. Whoops, I don't have anything. So, cool. Just because Zach handed you a Bible. Yeah, Zach was actually, he's like, hey man, I'm gonna send you a Bible. So I was like, okay, cool, bro. Oh man. Anesthesiologist assistant should be great. Great. I know, right? Hi everyone else. Mina says, hi Kevin. Refugee Hustle, the new career research website and community, aka BLS, right? But that's a pretty interesting concept. I'm gonna highlight that. Really like that. Yeah, and you know what's really interesting? A lot of people ask me about careers, and I never once talked about careers. For someone who's like anti, like, I don't want to say, I think I sometimes am pretty anti-school. I always tell people not to go to school, but people still go to school anyways. And people ask me, oh, what do I do after I'm in school? So it's just really interesting, the type of questions I get. But it's really, really cool. Like, I'm very blessed, like, that people ask me questions about going to school. By the way, I actually like I said, I shot this video. I shouted out everyone who asked me career questions, by the way, recently within the last 3 months. So I shouted out 3 different people. So yeah, make sure you send me questions via refugee, like um through my email and all that, subscribers at refugeehustle.com. Sign up for that email list because I just did a autoresponder which sends you really cool content that I think is going to help you all out, man. So yeah. Can it be possible? Can it be possible students who complete 4-year pharmacy do their far PharmD in US? Not quite sure about your question, right? Usually pass for pharmacy, like the quickest I've ever heard was 5 years, right? I think there was like a new program or something. I don't know if that's true, but typically people do a 0 to 6, right? So straight from high school, or they'll do like um, they'll do 4 years and then another 4 years out of school. There's accelerated schools like the one I went that you do 4 years undergrad, 3 years 3 years accelerated school, and then there's also like you could do 3 years then transfer into an accelerated school too. So there's a lot of different routes you want to go, man. So there's a lot of different routes. Um, let's see. Kyle, oh, speaking about accelerated schools. Hey, Kyle says, hi, I'm applying to accelerated PharmD program at MCP Worcester campus. I was wondering if I could get your take on the experience there, as what kind of classes one takes there. Um, so all the curriculum is, I think, available online. They give you a course, like the curriculum that you need to learn. It's gonna be the same thing wherever you go, man. At the end of the day, the only thing is that, okay, Worcester is not in Boston. Like, I'll give you some lifestyle things because I think that's the thing that you care about the most, right? Um, I think in terms of opportunities of Worcester, the major advantage is that you can graduate quickly, but there's a high burn-off rate, right? Not everybody passes the program. They make it really, really hard. You won't have a life for a long time. And guess what? You're in the middle of nowhere. Not middle of nowhere, but it's not like upstate New York or anything like that. But you are like about an hour away from Boston, the city. So if you want to have good food or anything like that, it's difficult, you know. But Worcester isn't the worst place in the world either. I actually kind of learned to appreciate it. I learned to appreciate the people around me, and all that as well. So it was I spent a lot of years there. I went to undergrad there. I went to undergrad in that area and all that. The only back when I was there, there's a lot of trouble with parking and stuff like that as well. So there's that. But I mean, I met some of my best friends at MCP Worcester too. So I thought that was pretty cool. But yeah, so I guess that's my take on it. Not too much. I mean, a lot has probably changed since I've been there too, for the most part. Is there any veteran scholarships for veteran scholarship for internationals? I have no idea, bro. Did you see the news where there was a recent farm grad who was 19 years old? I bet her parents forced her into it. Really? That's interesting. 19-year-old pharmacist. See, here's the problem with that sort of stuff. You're entrusting. Oh, Cassidy Vo. I'm looking at this. Chapman grad. So let's take a look at this. This is really interesting. Obviously from the OC. Cassidy Vo graduates from Chapman after racing through school just like her brother. During commencement season, it's easy to dish on the Smarty Pants students. Wow. Holy shit. Smarty Pants students who we know or we think we do who missed all the fun because they're really too smart for their own good. Then you meet someone like Cassidy Vo and the myths and mockery just disappear. This is very interesting. 2 years before she can legally drink. That's crazy. I'm just kind of curious about her journey. Wow. That is really, really crazy. So Andrew graduated from Chapman at 19, but only got a bachelor degree. Make no mistake, these kids are smart. I wouldn't doubt she's smart. But I think there's like this whole like maturity gap the maturity thing that happens as well. At prom, she's 14 and her date was 16. Wow, that's so funny. She gave 110% focus. She wants to go farther. She's very young. That's awesome, man. She worked at pharmacy department, stint in ER, intensive care unit. Okay, cool. Yeah, That's pretty interesting how she did it. I mean, major props and kudos to her. But I just feel like, when you do something so young, um, it just you just don't know what you want as well. So pretty interesting, man. Danny, and my parents tried to get me to go pharmacy school back in 2016. I was so shocked. Did you pursue it? Says the American. No, I hated the school they picked the lowest ranking pharmacy school in Texas. I was too scared of that school. Yeah, it's you gotta be careful. Sometimes there's burn insurance schools. They weren't allowing me to go to a better school for pharmacy. Yeah, that's a problem listening to your parents, because sometimes parents just give really really shitty advice. And like I always tell you guys, like, you're the ones that have to kind of pay the consequences for that as well. So all right, guys. I gotta get going. I am actually gotta get ready. I actually gotta get ready, get showered for the birthday party and whatnot. Just wanted to tune in really quick. I didn't just want to skip a day, for a live stream. I probably could have let you guys know, but I fucked up there. But if you haven't already, make sure to like, comment, subscribe this video, and get ready for some kick-ass content this week. I took a lot of time out of my schedule to shoot it, and I'll upload it this week, and enjoy it, man. I think it'll help you. I think you'll like the new content that I'm gonna be posting up, because it's going to be mostly content that is curated within these chats, within all this sort of stuff, and some things I just want to talk about. And so I've kind of found that healthy stride for me. Looking for a new video editor. If you guys are looking, if any of you guys video edit, or you guys want to learn how to do it, let me know. Slide in my DM, slide it into subscribers at refugeehustle.com, and let's talk. I would love to kind of show you the ropes of what goes into a video as well, and you guys can see the behind the scenes too. All right. Thank you guys. Appreciate you. Thank you, American. Really appreciate you. Mina, appreciate you too. All y'all, appreciate y'all. And if you guys need any help, feel free to slide in. All right. I'll talk to you guys later. Have a great weekend and week later. Peace, guys.